to have the bollocks.
Do you really want to go toe-to-toe with me on that?
You've completely, like, what are we doing here? Levy isn't going anywhere.
It's all down to timing, isn't it?
Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the... Oh, I've got the wrong background up. How dare me? Welcome back to the Spurs Five. How's everybody doing? That's the right one. There we go. Hope everyone is happy and healthy, doing the things they love. Welcome back. Thanks for everyone who's come over from the Spurs Talk show. That was a good show just then. Guys, we got a new guest on tonight. Johnny's on his holly pops, or he's doing something with a black tie, I don't know, wherever he's out somewhere. So we brought in a ringer from Twitter fame. Welcome to Ferg. Please make him feel very welcome here. We got Peaky Lubo in the, I don't know who bought him that hat. He's trying to be more like Butler all day, every day. He's copying his predictions. He's copying his headwear. It's shameless and shameful. But listen, you could do a lot worse than trying to copy this guy. Let's just get it out of the way straight off the bat. Guys, pour off to anyone who doesn't want to smash the like button. Smash the like button for the channel. Smash the subscribe if you haven't already. I'm not sure what the march to, but we're on the march to more. So smash the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop those comments thick and fast. Be respectful, but keep it cool. And we will have no issues with the moderators, but do your job. Guys, we are also sponsored today by OK Jersey, as usual. You know the score by now. If you're looking for the best value, best quality clobber in all of your sport and athleisure wear, whether it's football or training gear, whatever you're looking for, check out OK Jersey and you get the best prices in town, and you get an even better price. You get 8% off at checkout by using code 5. So thank you to them. Thank you to you guys for checking in. Before I come and find out how the guys are doing, last thing, guys, last bit of admin. We are, of course, available on all of your podcast platforms. If you are looking to walk the wife and you'd rather watch us or listen to us than walk with her, listening to her, then you can find us on Spotify and you can find us on Apple Pods and Amazon and all that jazz. So give us a follow and a rating. Let's welcome in Ferg first and foremost. First time I've met you, Ferg. I've heard great things, my man. How are you? Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Oh, good, thanks. Thanks for having me on, everyone. It's nice to sub in for Johnny. I'm wearing a hat in tribute to him, Doc Holliday himself. He is a legend, but yeah, I'll try and be the good sub for him.
Good man, mate. Good man. Appreciate you very much indeed. Lubo, Mr. Peaky Lubo, who bought you that hat, mate? Where'd you get this from?
I bought the hat 2 or 3 years ago. Getting ready for football yesterday. It was freezing cold. Looking for my scarf, found the cap. Thought, do you know what? I've got my, what do you call it, my woolly. I'll wear that for the match, but I'll keep this in honour of the Spurs Five because you'll wear caps. And Stel was wearing a cap a few weeks ago as well. So, you know.
Yeah, he was, yeah. So just whilst we're on that, mate, you've got your different layers on. Yeah, a man with your, I don't know, with the lack of hair to keep your head warm, no disrespect. Do you have to wear lots of layers? Do you wear a snood? Do you wear more layers than Kolo Muani had to peel off before he got on the pitch after 28 minutes yesterday?
No.
What is your problem when you go to Tottenham?
And I try not to wear gloves either. I'm old school. You know.
Old school, man.
I never wore
scarf, though, right? You wear the yellow
Short sleeves.
I must have said it. I never wore gloves when I played football in the cold ever. That was like pathetic. These footballers that wear gloves. Nonsense.
What about long johns at Lubo? You used to rock them when you played.
He's definitely carrying some long johns. He's wearing long johns right now.
Once you're on the move, you warm up playing out in this weather anyway, don't you?
That's true. That's true. How are you, Lubo? Anyway, let's get back to the game. How are you doing? How's things? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. I predicted 1 all the other day, so not surprised. You know, listen, we're mid-table, average team, average squad, average manager, average league position. That's where we are. No surprise, no expectation, no disappointment.
Listen, I've got a costume that's ready to go. It's just being pressed in the other room, mate. It's my new flip-flop costume. I'll be bringing it out shortly to show off.
That's all right.
Good to see you,
Lubo. Sean, that's all right. I've downgraded my assessment of the squad. You carry on thinking we're going to finish top 4. That's okay. That's all right. We'll see at the end of the season who gets closest.
I never said top four ever. Don't put words in my mouth, buddy. Let's say hi to Stel. Stel, you okay, mate? You look like you're tired or I don't know, not with us. You okay? Everything okay?
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm just a lot going on. I'm off to Cyprus on Wednesday. I've got to find a new home, then come back. Then I've got to pack the house, move to Cyprus. I've just got loads going on, and the only kind of respite is to watch this disaster of a catastrophe at White Hart Lane on a weekly basis, which actually makes the situation worse mentally. Otherwise, great show. Really, really good.
Good. I've got a feeling tonight, starting off with smiles, but I feel like there's going to be some spiciness coming. Just got a feeling. I don't know. I can feel it in my bones. Big up to the chat. We'll come to the super chats and everything in a minute. Let's get going. Look, there's lots to talk about. We've got to talk about Paratici. We've got to talk about the game. We have to talk about transfers, lack thereof, the prioritization of getting players out before we could get players in. Is it look like a bit of a silly one now that Kudus is out injured? Loads to get through, of course, and we'll finish off with the Bournemouth predictions as well. Stel, I've seen you and I've heard, obviously I'm not in all of the WhatsApp groups that you're in, but I have heard rumors that you have been going in on everybody over the last 24 hours regarding Thomas Frank and regarding just people's general perspectives. Let's start with you, my man. What was your take on yesterday?
Crap. Absolute crap. Fans are so desperate, so hungry for anything to cling on to that they say that first half was really, really good. It wasn't. Their goalie barely had a thing to do. The Sunderland goalie didn't even have a save to make that first half. The goal we scored was dog shit. Another 2-yard tap in from a set piece. They failed to clear the ball 3 times, but a goal's a goal. We take it because we want goals. Yeah, we dominated possession. We were attacking with no creativity, no end product. Lots of huff and puff, but couldn't blow the house down. We didn't hit the crossbar loads of times. Nearly scored, and the goalie made wonder saves. Mate, it was an average first half attacking display that we as fans are going to make it sound as if it was the best thing we've seen ever, because we don't know what attacking looks like anymore. We're so starved of attacking play that when we get something that looks like it, we just, we're back. Look at this. And then reality kicks in, second half. Sunderland dominate. They pass the ball better than I've seen Spurs pass the ball all season. Every fan in that stadium knew that goal was coming. There wasn't a Spurs fan in that stadium that didn't know it was coming. And when it came, it was like, right, let's pray to God we hold on and we don't lose it. And do you know what? Sunderland could have won it. We actually could have won it as well, to be fair. Paulinho with a header right at the end that just went wide. But overall, listen, the fans booed at the end for a reason. It's not because it's a good game of football they're watching and because they're happy. The football's crap. And I'm not going to have that it's just because the players are shit. Brentford are above us in the Premier League, and their manager, Keith Andrews, was the set-piece coach under Frank. Why Brentford 7th place without Mbeumo, Wisa, Norgard, Tony? How is it they can be 7th, but our players are crap? You know, Keith Andrews is outdoing Thomas Frank. And that Sunderland team was missing 7 players. 4 of them, by the way, all start for Sunderland because the Antwerp Arms got overtaken by Sunderland fans. They put Sunderland flags in the Antwerp Arms pubs. It was a complete hostile takeover. We were outnumbered by the Tyneside fans, and we were chatting to them, and they're saying, look, we're really worried. We've got a lot of players missing. We're getting draws. We're holding on, but we're really worried. We've got a lot of key players missing.
Wait, so during the game, there was Sunderland fans in the pub during the game?
No, before the game, in the Antwerp Arms.
Oh, okay, so they went to the game, but you stayed. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we were in the pub before having a few drinks, the usual social catch-up. And we were chatting to them, and they said that we're a bit worried, but, we do have Brobby up front, and if he gets a chance, he's decent. And I said, I don't really know too much about Brobby. He's the one that ended up scoring, so they knew what they were talking about. I said to them, guys, don't worry, we're shit. You're going to get a draw today. You will get a draw today. I promise you. Mark my words. And they got their draw. But listen, we got bopped off the park in those last 30 minutes. They were ripping us. And I watched that and I thought, how is it they can play passing, attacking football, and they've got 7 players at AFCON, and we can't even string 5 passes together? I'm not having it, man. I'm not having it. I've seen it too often. Sean, no one can defend this manager to me anymore. He is a problem. Frank is a problem at Spurs. Enoch are a problem. Vinay's a problem. Joe Lewis's kids are a problem. Half this squad is a problem. But Frank is also a problem. He's not going to get away with it. And no one's going to run away from the praise and the hype and the rhetoric they put on this man's head.
But you're not Frank out, though, are you?
There's no point me saying Frank out, because no one's going to come in right now that we're going to get that genuinely takes the club forward long term. Even a short term would be too risky.
If there was, you would swap him in a heartbeat.
Mate, if we could get a Glasner or a Klopp, yes, I would. But I know that's not possible.
Yeah, okay.
And to be honest with you, I think Glasner's on his way to Chelsea or Man United now, because those 2 clubs have made their moves. But look, I repeat what I've said for the last 3 months. Enoch, I want him gone. I don't trust this new structure. You know, Lubo says he's excited about the new structure. I'm not. Half this squad needs replacing, which is why we can't get top 6, because half the squad's not good enough. But to be 13th, getting outplayed by Brentford, outplayed by Sunderland, attacking football at our ground, week in, week out, mate, Frank doesn't get it. He's not that guy. He's not. And he's not going to be the long-term solution for me, in my opinion, unless you just want top 4 and to chuck £400-500 million at him. So that's what I saw on the weekend, Sean, a repetition of everything I've seen for the last 3 months, really. Sorry to go in with the negative off the bat, everyone watching the show, but I can't pretend. I can't say something I don't believe. Right. So
yeah, speak your mind, mate. Speak your mind. I'm not sure if there's going to be too much in the way of disagreement, though, in the large part. Ferg, I'll come to you. Obviously, I've never spoken to you before, mate, but Lubo did tell me that you were quite vocally.
I never wanted this manager in the first place. Yeah. I was convinced that he's coming from a really stable club with an algorithmic system for how they go out and find players, where there's no expectation. They love him because he got them promoted. They will overlook all of his foibles. They gave him exactly what he wanted with players. He knew he could trust everyone around him. It was really stable. It had all the hallmarks of Potter at Brighton, where they had that system there. Right. Everything's locked down, everything's perfect. And he was coming to us where the expectation was going to be drastically different. Had he come and we were 17th with no Champions League football, I think it would have been more palatable. But for him to come in, he's never managed European football. He's never had to do the 3-day churn of games ever. When he did manage a club that was in Europe, they crashed out when he was at Brøndby. At Brøndby, he never won anything, even though they're one of the biggest clubs in Denmark. He got beaten in every cup final they made it to. And basically the chairman went online, slated him, and he ends up getting quitting before he gets fired. So I was worried. Lubo knows I was very vocal that I think it's a bad decision. I don't think it's going to work. He's come in and he's actually doing worse than I even anticipated. I thought we'd be mid-table, but I didn't think we'd be 13th. The football's god-awful. The weekend was appalling. First half, I thought we showed a bit of intent. We pressed quite well. Second half, just revert to type, sit back. From the 50th minute, I was like, oh, God, they're going to score. It was a matter of time. I think Xhaka, didn't he outpass our entire midfield for progressive passes in one half of that game?
Yeah, he did, yeah. He
did.
I've got some data on the progressive passes thing. I'll bring up Stel's got this in front of us. What are you doing here, Stel?
Yeah, Sky Sports showed the last 3 games that when we played Palace, Brentford and Sunderland, Adam Wharton in 3 games has got more progressive passes than our entire midfield. Jordan Henderson of Brentford, more progressive passes than our entire midfield. Then on the weekend, Granit Xhaka, more progressive passes than our entire midfield.
Yeah, and so if you take that away for a second, mate, let me just show you something else. I got sent this, right, from someone on a DM on Twitter. And this is just picking one thing. Ferg, I'll stay with you on the and I'll come to you in a minute, Lubo, just to keep the conversation flowing. So this is Bentancur's 25-26 progressive passes, the PRGP. PRGC is the carries, but we'll just focus on the passes, right? These are the last 5 seasons of Bentancur. 5.54 average per 90 progressive passes, 4.5, 6.5, 5.5, pretty consistent. Thus far, half that under Thomas Frank. If you then move to this section here, same sort of data, but this percentile, it's not completion percentile. This is the percentile of where they stack rank, where he stack ranks relative to the other midfielders in the top 5 leagues. And you can see that he was never like smashing it in the 90th percentile, but 2021-22 was 63rd percentile, 22-23 he was halfway, 23-24 his best season. This is obviously just one specific statistic. I could go into everything else if we wanted to, but we're just talking about progressive passes and we're looking at our midfield. And obviously Bentancur, I think most people would argue, is our most experienced and most experienced box-to-box player. I think if we're comparing Polina, it's probably unfair because he's a 6, but and then 75th percentile for last season. And then this year, he's in the bottom 87th percentile, the 13th percentile relative to all other midfielders. There's a whole bunch of other data that I can bring up to sort of sustain and substantiate the point. The reason I'm asking for, you talked about progressive passes from Granit Xhaka. Stel, you bring up the comparisons there of other midfielders that we're looking at. And I think a lot of people are making this argument at the moment around, is Thomas Frank really responsible for what we're seeing, or is it the players? Is Thomas Frank really capable of getting anything more out of these players because they're just not good enough? And I understand that a lot of people want better. I'm probably one of them as well. But to me, that data just shows that Bentancur was competent, was capable, and was under different instruction, able to progress the ball just on that one metric alone, able to do more with the ball than he is able to do now. And so it begs the question, has he fallen off a cliff since his injury, or is it because of the instruction of the manager and the way that he's setting them up?
Some of those stats are from seasons after his injury, aren't they? So that would indicate that he is capable. And no one could tell me, before he got injured, he was that season probably our best player. He was playing fantastically. He was a pressing monster, which that's gone from his game. But he's not a bad player. He plays for Uruguay. He played for Juventus. He won titles there. You don't become an awful footballer overnight. You can lose confidence. But I was listening to a Brentford fan on Spurs, and it didn't sound like they used the centre of midfield loads when he was there either. Everything went down the wings, down the fullbacks. They were delivering the ball into the centre a lot more. He didn't use the central midfielders that much. And he didn't have wonderful passing central midfielders there. He had Damsgaard in the 10, but Norgaard's not the greatest passer of the ball, and neither is Jensen. Sure. So I'm not seeing that our players are palpably worse than what he had at Brentford, and yet the style of football is absolutely abysmal that he's playing now. The other issue I can think of is I can't remember, I don't know if any of you can, I can never remember a manager who scaled up, who started with a pragmatic style, changing to an attacking style, because this is the other narrative I keep hearing. When he's got better players, he'll play better football. But I don't ever remember anyone going from pragmatic to attacking. I do remember people going from attacking to pragmatic because they were scared of losing. Like, definitely Arteta has become more pragmatic as time's gone on, but I don't ever remember it the other way. So I don't think the Leopard's going to change his spots that much.
Ferg,
either, to be honest.
Ferg, I don't know if you watch the show regularly. Last show we did, I sat here arguing with Johnny and Lubo, telling them that if one or two players are underperforming in terms of their passing, i.e. Porro and let's say Archie Gray, right? Then you have an issue with the players. But when collectively all the individuals' passing stats, the majority have dropped, it's a coaching failure. And this is everything I was saying on the last show. We don't practice it enough. If we practice it 30% of training, and these are the individual data stats, then the training needs to be increased to 50% on the passing and moving in order to get us back to where these players were, all of them as a collective. So it's not just that the team stats are down, the individual stats. That drop off from Bentancur is so significant. It's not slightly off. It's a massive drop. And you know what? I guarantee you'll see very similar trends with at least 80% of this squad, which is why I made the argument last week. We don't practice it. We're not a passing possession-based team under Frank, and there's consequences to that. And this is now what people are beginning to catch on to. Now, these are things I've been saying for a few weeks now. This is exactly what I was talking about. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by what you've just shown with that Bentancur stat at all.
Well, look at the thing. Like Pedro Porro's obviously been working on his defensive game massively, but it's at the detriment of his passing game. His crossing's getting worse each game. Though he did put a couple of decent balls in. He put one in for Richie that was headed away by the defender. That was a really good cross. Richie could have got to it. The defender got there first. But his passing's gone downhill. Xavi Simons looks like a player. Whenever I've seen him play for Leipzig, he looks like he's devoid of confidence. He's got no foil to play off. I mean, Kuda started the season really well. Like everything is just dropped. Every player has dropped, and it's because we're really predictable. We do the same things. We get the ball to Kudus. We get the ball to Kudus. We get the ball to Kudus. We look for a throw-in. We look for a set piece. That's all I can see. I can't see any tangible attacking system or pattern from this guy. I've yet to hear someone convince me that there is one.
I've got some more stats I do want to show you on this topic, but I do want to bring Lubo in. Just to obviously to round off the initial start of the conversation around the Sunderland game specifically, Lubo, and then I'll come back to you for some of the takes I want to bring in about these progressive passes, because there's a lot of team stats data that tells another story or tells the same story, just more pronounced. Lubo, were you impressed? I think like Stel was saying, like we weren't that good in the first half. I think Ferg made the argument. I think we were better in the first half than we were in the second, but obviously we dropped off a little bit. Neither of them are impressed though. Where did you land on that one, Lubo?
I thought, well, first half we were better. We pressed them. We came out of the blocks quicker. We scored, thought was deserved. We should have had the game tied up before half time. But I keep saying players aren't good enough. Opportunities come up during a game. All Richarlison's got to do is play the ball across field for Mawani, who's clean through. No, he's got to take another touch. And the second touch was intercepted by the defender who had got back by then. And that's just typical. You know, better players make better decisions that bring about better results. And we looked at the stats on Thursday nights. There was just one stat that was about losing possession. And when you take out the minutes that the ball is out of play, just say approximately you lose half the time with the ball out of play. With the percentage we had, I think less time wasting by Vicario, 2 minutes to take a throw in. I think we gave the ball away 25 times in 18 minutes. That is just outrageous. Those stats are horrendous. Now, I'm sorry, a player goes out there, when you're playing at Premier League level, you should be able to pass the ball 5-10 yards. There's absolutely no excuse for the amount of passes that are hit that are inaccurate, that don't reach their target, that get intercepted, that are too long, go out for goal kicks or throw-ins. I'm sorry, it's unacceptable. This squad is not good enough. Now, for me personally, I want to see Poch back in the summer. So, you know, and I look at this, and we've all seen this whole Ange Frank war going on social media for months and months and months. And who's better? And he's better last week, and Frank's better this week, season on season. It's all nonsense. Firstly, no manager's going to do well unless the owners back them. And if the owners don't back them, they may as well sell the club. And for me personally, now I want to see new owners in, clean broom. Let's start from scratch. We are so far in a mess. We've gone so far back since Poch's team, and since 2017. All started going downhill when we went to Wembley. And every time a player has been sold from Poch's team, we bought someone who's a downgrade. And I want that player to do well, and I'm enthusiastic. I want him to do well. I'm a Spurs fan. But you look back and you just look at the players that we bought, and none of them would get into Poch's team. And this is, you know, maybe Madrid brought false expectations. You know, a Champions League final team. The team... If you'd have said to me 2017 we reached the Champions League final, I could understand that, because we had a superb team then, and that team could well have won it, playing against Liverpool 2019. But none
of the players that were in that team we paid massive money for, nor did they come as superstars.
No, but I think the thing about when we bought those players, Sean, that was before the explosion in prices that was brought about by Neymar and Mbappe's ridiculous.
My point, forget about the relative pricing. I'm just saying that none of those players were superstars when they came to Tottenham. None of them were.
No, but you had Poch coming in with his coaching team, and that's why I want to see Pochettino back. He's not going to inherit the same level of squad.
That's what you lot said about Frank. That's what you lot said about Frank. He's a coach. You want a coach. This is
the thing that baffles me about the Frank appointment is, and we've done this for the last number of managerial appointments. We had Ange, who is like an attacking zealot, whose whole idea is about going forward, defending the secondary aspect of what he thinks of. Why, if we're trying to be Brighton or Brentford, who do evolution, not revolution, did we go and get the complete antithesis of the previous manager as the replacement? Why didn't they just go for another offensive manager who maybe, had a bit more of the handbrake on? But no, they've gone for someone who's even more defensive than Conte. People moaned about Conte. People in here moaned about Conte at times because of the football. It's not great to watch, or Mourinho. But this guy, I mean, I'm not joking. That game against Brentford is one of the worst matches I've ever sat through in my life. I was desperately trying to stay awake. The Arsenal game was so cowardly and disgusting. I've never been so angry in a North London derby ever. We've had worse teams. I went to the FA Cup semi-final when Neil Sullivan was in goal at Old Trafford, and we got battered for 90 plus minutes. Battered. Gary Doherty scored a fluke, and if it wasn't for Neil Sullivan, we should have lost 7 or 8-0. But at least they tried. I've never seen a more cowardly performance from a team than that day, and that really was. Well, I was already anti him, but that was the nail in the coffin. I couldn't take it anymore. Watching that, how can you play your biggest rivals and not show up?
And then he did it 2 weeks later against Chelsea, right?
Well, 2 weeks before, but yeah.
2 weeks before. Sorry, 2 weeks before, yeah.
Mate, as the season goes on, Leeds are getting better, Brentford are getting better, Sunderland are getting. All these teams seem to progress as the season goes on, and we're getting worse. We're regressing as a team, and yet it's just it's the players. It's the whole point of paying a manager millions and millions and millions of pounds is so that he can do a job with what he's got, and then you hope the board back him to take it further. Otherwise, there's no point in having managers. Just take Frank out until the summer when we're going to back him. There's no point in having any manager at Spurs because there's no accountability otherwise. Like I said, Sunderland were missing 7 players. This isn't Arsenal.
Their best player this season was on the bench, and he came on in the second half and was one of the guys who helped to change the game. Ballard, the centre half. He's been top
the young defender. Yeah.
He's not that young, by the way. He's 25.
He's 25, yeah. But he's a big lad.
Mountain of a human being.
Mate, I sat there watching Sunderland bopping that ball around White Hart Lane. I haven't seen Spurs once pass that ball. Are you going to tell me those players are really, really, really good technical individuals? They're not. They're all right, but they're coached to play that way. That's how they're coached to play.
Let me show you guys just a little bit of this progressive data thing, right? Let me bring it up for a second. So this is the data. Forgive me, it's a lot of data. I'll try and make it as just quick as possible.
Oh, I can't read that.
Can't read it. I'll bring it. I'll zoom in. Right. So this is the progressive passes stats for the entire team. Okay, I'll make it really quick. This is this season. Xavi Simons has the highest amount of progressive passes this season. Doesn't play that often under Thomas Frank. Doesn't play as often as he should. Pedro Porro, Destiny Udogie, and Jed Spence. So our progressive passes are coming down. Our fullbacks, a bit like Fulham would do. Bit like Brentford might do, but not like other teams do necessarily. After that, you've got Lucas Bergvall, who barely plays. Will Snodebert doesn't play that often. Pape Matar, who started the season a lot and doesn't play. Kevin Danso, who also doesn't play very often at all. So you've got 5 of the top 9 players that are either not used or not the sort of players and not the sort of positions that you would be using in terms of our overall average passes, average progressive passes per 90. The key metric I want to let you guys see here is the top 3. So who is it? It's Xavi Simons, Pedro Porro, and Destiny Udogie, right? They have 6.34, 5.45, 5.44 between them. Everybody else is less than 4 progressive passes per 90. If I then pivot, just super quick, guys, I know it's a bit data boring. If I then pivot to last season under Ange Postecoglou, yes, you can make the argument that James Maddison is injured, obviously, this season, okay? He's 8.16 progressive passes per 90. But you have to go all the way down to Pape Matar to find So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players in our squad last season progressed the ball more than 4 times a game.
This is exactly what I was saying to you guys last week. When it's a collective data set that falls off, it's a coaching failure. Go on any coaching course, just sign up for a course and they will tell you when to coach the individual, when to coach the team. When the data falls for the team, it's a coaching failure. When the data falls off for a few individuals, you've got an individual failure. We have got a team failure at a coaching level. Slag off the players as much as you want. Call them all shit. The data doesn't lie. They've all dropped off. It's a coaching failure.
13 players in
it's a coaching failure.
The Ange Postecoglou system progressed the ball more than everyone bar Xavi Simons. And by the way, Xavi Simons, who's our number 1 progressive passer this season, who doesn't play that often, he would sit number 6 on that list in Ange Postecoglou. The argument that we can't do it, the argument that these players are incapable, and therefore Thomas Frank has got his hands tied behind his back with the tactics. Statistically, at least on that particular metric, and progressive passes are an important part of creating football that can actually generate outcomes that you're looking forward to seeing, and looking forward to seeing the, represent the manifestation of good performances and victories. It can happen. It's by design. It is by.
What's the pass completion difference, Sean? What's the pass completion difference?
Oh, it must be massive.
Well,
Basuma is
nice.
He decided to ostracize Basuma, but Basuma would probably fit the passing profile better than the 2 guys that he's used more than him. Like, he's a better passer of the ball than Palhinha and Bentancur when he's on form. Obviously, we know he's got bozo genes in him, but Basuma, it would turn up late for training, but he'd cut off his nose to spite his face because he could have been another useful player. I know he got injured and now he's at AFCON, but we could have used him previously, and he could have rotated the midfield a bit more.
Yeah.
The other thing also, Sean, to get a fair perspective, we have conceded 20% less goals this season in the first 20 league games. So where he has coached us, has been on the defensive side, which is
100%. 100%.
That's improved, and that's taken away. So just
and by the way, it will continue to get better, because until about game week 18, I think, or 17, it was very close, and then from then on, it went downhill very, very quickly. For
we had Arsenal and Newcastle away, didn't we? We let in 6 goals there.
Lupo, there's a consequence.
And then of course the centre halves got injured, and we lost games like Leicester, where we had Dragusin and Davies. Was it, or was it Gray? No, it was Gray and Davies. So
we went to Brentford and we won 2-0 with Gray and Davies as our centre backs.
And we beat City with Dragusin and Davies as our centre backs.
Yeah.
But he's had the centre backs all season, which is massive. Because actually last season our results were stunningly better when they were both fit. And I'm not defending Ange because I wanted him out. All right.
Hang on, Ferg. Ferg, up to City last year, which was the 12th game, we won 6 and lost 5. And drew the first game with Leicester. And Van der Ven and Romero had played most of those. So this whole thing about losing them the whole season is a myth.
I didn't say that we lost them the whole season. I said that later in the season we lost them, yeah.
They both played up to the Man City League game at the end of October. So, and we're talking about the first 9 games, I think, 9 league games.
Mm-hmm. Lubo, the argument is this, right? Ange better, Frank better. Here's the reality. We got rid of Ange. We got rid of Ange. It hasn't changed. That's the point. It hasn't improved. Whether Van der Ven's fit, Romero's fit, Adogi, whether we buy a 6, whether the attackers are injured, it hasn't improved. And this thing about defending, there's trade-offs when you make these decisions. If you're going to go heavy on defending, you're trading off the attack. So how's that worked out? Okay, we are better defensively, but we are worse attacking. So when you look at the amount of goals we haven't conceded compared to last season and the amount of goals we haven't scored, you balance it out. Goal difference-wise, we are worse off by 8 goals. Goal difference-wise, we are negative worse, which means, Lubo, this stage last year, we are now lower in the league as a result. And that's the trade-off. That's the choice, but it hasn't worked out. So
it's not the full story. That is just not.
No, that's facts. I'm giving you the facts.
Okay.
Aren't we slightly higher on
What
points?
have I said that's wrong, Lubo?
Hang on. We got 3 points more than this time last year.
We are lower in the league.
We're one place lower in the league. One place.
So we're lower.
Hang on. We are 13 points off the bottom three as against, I think it was 8 or 9. We are 4 points off 5th place instead of 11 at this time last year. So that the whole thing is skewed. And let's not forget, if we're comparing Spurs attacking wise, he has improved he's improved our defending massively compared to last season. But unfortunately, the attacking side has suffered. But
He's improved set pieces as well. I'll give you that.
Hang on. Last season we had Johnson scoring goals, albeit a different system. Johnson was scoring goals. Sully was scoring goals. Kulu was scoring goals. Madison was scoring goals. We haven't got any of those now.
Yeah, but he signed Mawani, he signed Xavi Simmons. He's wrecked the fullbacks.
How many has Xavi Simmons scored?
Who coaches him? Who coaches him? Who coaches him?
2 league goals.
2 league goals. Is that what he's got? Odebear?
Didn't he get one in the Champions League? Yeah, he got one in the Champions League, so 3.
If these players were playing in an attacking system, they'd have more goals. If they were allowed to be
Let me ask a question. After
one second, Lubo, just before you ask that question, just give me 1 second, just to finish off the point on this one. I'll let you go in just 2 seconds. Stel, you asked the question, what was the passing completion stats of the comparable years? So last season under Ange, a more gung-ho, more progressive football with more risk. Our squad average pass completion percentage was 82.7%, and our opponents' pass completion was 79.3%. So 82.7 across the entire Premier League season, across the entire squad. This season, would you hazard a guess it's higher or lower?
Don't know. That's what I'm asking.
It's lower. This season, 78.5% pass completion, which is fucking dreadful, by the way. Absolutely dreadful. And our opponents is 78.4. So about the same.
Sean, and then break down how many passes were made accurately by the players that are missing, because our main technical players are missing this season. And let me ask you a question.
James Maddison's pass completion was 81.3, so below the average of the team last year. Dejan Kulusevski's passing completion ratio was 73.7%, so way lower. Who else? Dominic Solanke's was 70.6, so way lower. Those 3 players Those 3 players make last season's numbers look worse than they otherwise would be. So their absence would be a beneficial thing.
But let me ask Stel a question.
All the data proves that we are not being coached to pass, to receive, to carry possession. All the data proves it, Lubo. All of it.
Let me ask you a question. Just want to ask you an honest answer. After Sunderland scored, Spurs then attacked for the next 10 minutes. Did you at any time did you at any time think with those attackers that we've got, did you ever think we were going to score?
I don't believe we're going to score with the way we play football.
Well, Richie's going down the right. Mwani's clear. All he's got to do is ping a ball in and he takes an extra touch.
Okay, they hit the post with a header. Vicario, 84th minute at 1-1.
Vicario made an amazing save.
From a shot edge of the box.
Did we not have opportunities in the first half?
We had a couple of opportunities in the first half, and we had some in the second half. But that, like, if you ask me, who was the most likely scorer in the second half after they equalised, it was them.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what, Sean? Can I show an image, right? Because this is what gets me. This is what gets me, right?
Bring it up.
This. Lubo, do you agree last year that we were wide open? There was just big gaps on the pitch and we were just wide open. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that was how he set us up.
Right. So he set us up. So
correct.
So do you agree that it was Ange's fault that we were wide open?
Well, yes.
Okay. This was...
He's walking you into a trap here, Lubo. He's
I know
exactly what he's going to say.
Look how wide open the midfield is for the goal they scored. The 3 red circles is our midfield. And then in the 84th minute, when they could have won the game, look how wide open the flanks are. They picked the ball on the right. They pinged it on the left. No, sorry, they're right. They pinged it to the left. It was then passed to the number 2, who's on the ball in the red circle, where the entire team has now congested itself, and Vicario had to make a save. Wide open in the middle for the equaliser. Wide open on the flanks when they could have scored. Ange got blamed for us being wide open. Now we're wide open under Frank. Is it because of the players or the manager?
That's 2 situations still. That's 2. We were going for the
I can do this every week if you want. I can bring these screenshots up every week if you want.
Well, I've got to tell you something. When last season we
Lubo, it's a question. When we're wide open under Ange, he got the blame. Is it fair to blame Frank that we're wide open now? Is it fair?
Sean, can you get the stats?
Lubo, is it fair?
Hang on, guys, one at a time. Lubo, answer his question, because otherwise no one can understand what everyone's saying. Lubo, answer his question, then ask me the question. Whatever you want me to bring up, I'll bring it up.
Well, it's both. I'm linking the 2. What are the stats? We used to concede 20 shots on goal every single match. We're not doing that now still.
What's that you want me to compare? Shots against, yeah? I'll find out.
We all blamed Ange for us being wide open. We never said, it's the players' fault. It's Solanke's fault. It's Archie Gray's fault. We blamed Bentancur. We blamed the tactics. Now we're wide open under Frank. Are you agreeing that it's okay to blame Frank as well?
We're not normally wide open under Frank.
Yes, we are.
They were chasing the win. Players got caught up pitch. It happens.
Lubo, we weren't caught up pitch. In one scenario, there's nobody in midfield. In the next scenario, everyone's in the middle. There's no balance. There's no balance, Lubo.
Players aren't good enough still.
But you never said that last year when we were wide open. You blamed Ange.
But the players are not good enough.
But you never said that last year. You blamed Ange for us being wide open.
I did. But do you know what?
Right.
I said I remember you asking me on your show on a Sunday night, how would you apportion blame across the club? And if you remember, I said a third Levy, a third Ange, and a third the players. I kept repeating that because the whole situation is a bit of everybody.
Levy doesn't pick the tactics. Sunderland weren't wide open. Brentford weren't wide open when we played them.
No, but the quality of players diminished because of Levy's transfer policy. So you
can be compact and play balanced football and not get results because of the way the manager sets shot. Look at Brentford this year. Look at what they're doing on a regular basis. How are they doing it?
One at a time.
What do you think he's doing now? He's playing compact football, trying to get results with the best he's got. I don't think Frank's the manager to take Spurs forward, but he's doing the best with a poor squad. This is not a good squad.
Here's your data. So I've got shot creating actions and goal creating actions for the squad for this total for this year and the opponent, and then the same for last season. So the shot creating actions for our squad per 90, 17 actions have been per game on average lead to a shot, and against us is 20.3. And in terms of goals, on average, 2.1 goal creating actions per game, and against is 2.05. So we're marginally better on the goal difference or whatever. And in terms of last season, for the entirety of last season, shot creating actions was 23 shots per 90 for us and 23.76 against. So 3 additional shots against per game this under Ange than there was currently under Thomas Frank. And in terms of overall goals, 2.79 goal creating actions for us, 2.89 goal creating actions against. So it's marginally, yes, we conceded more shots against us or actions that led to shots, and we conceded more goals against us. We also scored more goals and we created more shots. So marginally different, but it's not like in terms of the possession stats are the real difference. I think we all know that the goals against, the shots against, all that stuff was going to be higher against for Ange, and the same in terms of what we were contributing. But the possession stats, I think, is the eye-opening one, to be honest.
It's poor. The whole thing's poor. Both managers are not of the level that we should be appointing. At the bottom, that's the bottom line.
That's not what was said in the summer, though. That's not what was said in the
Well,
summer.
I'm gonna
Nothing
say,
even close to that was said.
After the
We
chaos,
just need a coach. A better coach gets more out of this squad.
Absolutely, because I've got to tell you, Stel. I've seen coaches coach my kid at under 11 level that are better than Postecoglou, who tactically is the worst manager I think I have ever.
Where's that same energy for Frank with what you're seeing now? Where's that energy for Frank?
What we've had from Frank is you've got a defensively, it's massively improved.
And the attack's gone to shit. The midfield doesn't exist. We're wide open when it suits us. It's the same shit.
And we've only got a plus goal difference of, is it 3 or 4? So if it's so improved, why are we like actually not massively up on goals? Our goal difference is
conceding fewer, we're scoring fewer than last season.
Exactly. So the trade-off is
it's a net.
We're giving up. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But last year we had 24 points from 20. And this year we got 27 points from 20.
Right, and this is sorry. That's that data that I'm looking at there, Lubo. Is I'm comparing the first 20 games or whatever it is for Frank versus 38 for Ange. So that includes all of last season's second half demise as well.
But neither of them are any good.
I agree, but that's not what fans were saying. This is the complete opposite of what was being said. This is the complete opposite.
Defensively, he is coaching us. But you know what?
He's negating our whole midfield and going forward. The only things that have improved on him, we're slightly more less porous and we're better at set pieces. But we're better at corners. I don't even think we're better at free kicks. We're better at corners and we're better at defending them. When he brought in, the credit can probably go to his set piece coach because he brought in a good one. All right. But actually on field, we're more boring to watch. Last year was a bloody atrocious. I did not think we could get worse. Yeah. But this year is actually more numbing to watch. Like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, gone through the anger stage now. Now I'm just numb. Now I've just kind of given up because I just don't see anything good's going to happen this season. At the end of this month, conceivably, our season could be over. We could be out of the Champions League, out the FA Cup, and our chance of getting European football are diminishing by the day. Now, it's not all on him. Yeah, I agree. We could do with better players. I think we all would say that. We definitely need better midfielder. We definitely need a left winger that's better. No doubt about it. But at the moment, I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. We let Brennan Johnson go. All right, people can say, fine. Yeah, he's our third top goal scorer this season. He barely got a game. Last year was our top goal scorer. He's gone. Where's the replacement? Where's the replacement?
Correct.
Ferg, he's negative. He's a negative manager. I've been saying this every week. He says something negative. What did he say this week? Do you enjoy coaching at Spurs? No. He's negative.
Listen, what we're going to do now, because I think that's a really nice segue. We're going to move into some of the bigger picture stuff because we've seen a lot of managers calling out, basically saying things recently that ended up with their forced removal. We've seen it with Maresca. We've seen it with. We've seen it with Amorim recently. I think Oliver Glasner could be put into that bucket. Eddie Howe has taken shots as well at his DOFs in the past. And obviously Thomas Frank he's not quite there yet, but he's certainly indirectly referring to certain things in the past and the lack of depth, etc. So we will talk about all that stuff and what the director of football can do in the relationships between the managers and the boards and the people in between it, which is the DOFs. We'll talk about that in the second half right now. We've got some super chats to get to, guys. So let me just make a note of the timestamp so I can clip up that video because that was a good chat. Guys, let's start by saying Super Cup Legends. This is from I think Stel starred that for us. Go and subscribe to all the channels there, guys. Appreciate you. Ferg, if you've got a Twitter handle or something, mate, and you want me to plug it in the chat, stick it in the private chat, mate, and I'll promote that for us.
All right, cheers.
Big up to Ulrika Kakaka Ratatata. She has started the super sticker train, and with that, she gets the super sticker. Choo choo sound. Big up to you. Choo choo to you, Ulrika. Thank you very much indeed. The super sticker train has been. Anyone wants to jump on board, let us know where we're picking you up from. We're picking up Ulrika from Sydney. Dry your bits, get out of the bath, pour yourself a G&T, Ulrika. Thank you very much for your support. We've also got a gifted membership from Spursy Bingo. Big up to you, Spursy Bingo. Thank you very much. It's a very cool name as well. Who had Frank out on your bingo card for 2026? Or Paratici gone? before January the 6th. It looks like that's happening. We'll come to that in a minute. Thank you very much for the membership. Whoever it was that received it, please do say thank you to Spursy Bingo. Big up to you, my man. Also, we have one from Goocology who said the most exciting thing about the Sunderland game is Stel had a kebab after it. Lubo and his hat makes him more inspiration than Frank currently. Did you enjoy your kebab? Did you, Stel?
Yeah, I did a call into a live show and I told them I had to leave because we're going for a kebab. So yeah, it was a nice. In fact, the kebab was the highlight of the day. I'm not going to lie. It was a great kebab. Thank you.
Where do you go, Andy's Kebabs? Do you know Andy's Kebabs in Oakwood?
No, we went to Axel and Palmer's Green, but we couldn't find parking, so we went to a place in Richmond Hill called Babinondas.
Nice. Big
up to them. Big up to them. Free plug for them. Big up to you, Goocology. Thank you very much indeed for the support. Aris Athens. Big up to you from Australia. It says success starts from the top.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that in just a second, mate. Thank you very much for the super sticker or the super chat there, buddy. Appreciate you early in the morning, I guess, in Australia. Another one from Australia, JB McCauley. Big up to you, JB. Seen you a lot recently, my man, in the super chat world. Thank you very much for your support of all the channels. He says Frank is substandard, as is Langer. If Enoch are serious, get out the broom and sweep out the lot. Replace with people who understand the game, not bankers. Another thing we're going to be talking about in a minute, because I'm seeing it all over football at the moment. There seems to be meddling from the top, and there seems to be this relationship with managers thinking that they're managers, but they're actually head coaches, and they have to do and work with what they're given. And is that just a constant source of conflict? We'll talk about that on the Paratici segment just coming up. JB, thank you very much for your super chat. Ulrika Cars come back in with another super sticker. Big up to you. All the Aussies are in town tonight. All the Aussies are waking up and being very generous. Ben Davies is the left back we have been looking for. He is like a new signing. But actually, you know what? Little minute on that one. Ben Davies, I thought was brilliant yesterday. I thought he was a breath of fresh air, left-footed, balanced, pings the ball in. Thoughts, guys?
What a difference having somebody opening up the pitch by playing on their right side with the right foot, whereas unfortunately Spence has to stop, drop back, cut back, turn onto his right foot, closes the whole pitch out. This way, Davies can play down the left. We know he's not the answer. We know he's not Roberto Carlos. No one's saying.
So just having that ability to just play with his left foot, play balls up the line. It'd be better because we've got really all right-sided left wingers. It's better for a natural lefty to playing with them because both Spence and right-sided player, they both want to cut inside. They're both getting in each other's space, so it's better. I mean, I really hope these links to a left back are true, because I do think we need an offensive, good quality left back who can cross the ball, and I think that'll be like quite revolutionary for our team, because we've lacked that for ages.
Yeah, I like that Sousa. I'll take a look at that Sousa on the Y Scout story. He looks like a very, very interesting player. Sorry.
Takes the pressure off Kudus as well, doesn't it? Gives us more options.
Yeah, 100%. Stel?
I thought the entire attack of Sunderland in the last 30 minutes came down Ben Davies' side, and he got overrun left, right, and centre, which is why when it looked like Sunderland were going to be the team that won, Frank had to pull him and bring on Spence because he was just getting overrun on that side. So, yeah, great that he's got a left foot. Thanks for the tap in. And he made a goal line clearance as well. I haven't forgotten that. But when teams attack, he is easily the weakest link. And I saw it in the second half. So,
to be fair,
there's a trade-off. There's a trade-off with Ben Davies. If he for whatever good he brings,
though, because he hasn't played 90 minutes for ages. Like he hasn't played. That's his first Premier League game this season. He's barely played. So
why wait to the 88th minute?
I'm not. No,
why wait to the 88th minute then?
No, I agree. You should have come off earlier, probably. But
he was getting wins for 30 minutes.
Well, that's the problem. It's the thing is, I thought the narrative was this guy's got more tactics than Mr. Tactics. He's a professor of tactics or something. He was going to be different with his subs. He's going to be really reactionary, and none of that's been the case. Like he actually sits on his hands worse than Poch used to.
Yeah. The only thing that's different is Ange Postecoglou would stand solitary on the touchline, hands in his pockets, scuffing the floor, looking at the floor like a 14-year-old who's just been rejected by his high school crush. Whereas Thomas Frank just turns around and asks Cochrane to get out his notepad and write down some like a fucking parrot, like a dictaphone or whatever, and nothing really ever materializes. They look busy with their tactics board and all this crap, yeah, but there's nothing substantial comes from it. Big up to you, Ulrika. I hope that covered. Final, just quickly, one word answer. Would you stick with Ben Davies against Bournemouth? Yes or no?
Depends which side Semenyo's going to play down.
Doesn't it?
If Semenyo's against him, no chance, because he will get ruined.
Well, Semenyo's against Porro. There's no chance either,
No,
right?
I know, but like he's Semenyo. One thing, even 10 years ago, Mane and players like that used to destroy Ben Davies.
Yeah.
He had torrid times against pace. He's not going to have got better at that at his age. So unless we make the pitch smaller by doing a low block against players like that, he's not going to cope.
Let's just hope that Semenyo gets traded out tomorrow to Man City. They've only got 4 more days before that release clause disappears. So hopefully he won't be playing, or he'd have gone already. But
do you know the issue with Ben Davies, right? He does this all the time. This is how he's stolen a career at Tottenham. This is what he does. He'll play a game where fans say, "Oh, that was good," and then he'll start the next couple of games and he'll put in an absolute mare of a performance in at some point, and everyone will be like, "Why is he still at the club? Why did he get picked?" Well, it's because he had that one good game that then allowed him to play a series of games. And this is what Ben Davies does. He does it all the time. I guarantee you, he'll probably play a couple more games. And when he puts in that stinker, I'll remind everyone of this tonight's show, because he's done it for 10 years.
No one's like pretending like he's the future or anything else. It's just
I get it.
You know, does he deserve another minute? And you know, Jed Spence, Pedro Porro. Should we give Pedro Porro a breather and let Spence pound the? I don't know. We'll talk about that later on in the preview. Big up to Dino, Houdini, Chudini. Big up to you, my man, for the super sticker. Thank you again, as always, buddy, for your support. Choo to you, my man. Absolute legend. Always chipping in with the support. And Not Rob, big up to you as well. Not Rob 6994 says we have the highest big chance conversion rate in the league, 48%. Statistically, we are more clinical than anyone else. It's a systemic issue. Are you basically saying that when we regress to the mean to everybody else's conversion rates, it will look even worse? I think if that's what you're saying, then I agree with you. I think we outperform on our XG, we outperform on the conversion rate, and those things typically don't last. So could be a really unfortunate second half of the season to come, unless things change, and we'll get there. But thank you very much, Not Rob. Appreciate you, my man. Big up to you for the support. Rob Brown has come in and said, if Poch hadn't managed us before, based on his career, would we really be that keen to replace Frank with him? Wow. Anyone want to take that one?
I'll take it. We know now. We know from the 4.5 years that Poch was at the club what he did, the systems he put in place, the football he played, how he developed players. As you said, Sean, they weren't superstars when they joined Spurs. He found the system, he got them pressing, and some of the football we saw was absolutely phenomenal. And for the first time in my life, I had 2 consecutive seasons where we were up there constantly in the top 3. So obviously, you know, this is where hindsight comes in. If you haven't got hindsight, you're speculating. With hindsight, you can actually say, yes, we've seen this, and you know what? I want some more. I'm fed up with.
Yeah, let me throw this one at you then. In fact, let me get rid of the super chat. We'll carry on talking about it just so because I think this will be a good clip. Is there any part of you like? Here's what I would say. I'd start by saying I want Poch back as well, but not because I think it will work necessarily. I think it will take a relationship, a symbiotic relationship with the DOF that is they're on the same page. So like maybe you get Paul Mitchell back in it as well. If you can, he's out of work, and then maybe they can be on the same page and work together in tandem. However, I think the more likely outcome is that what happened with Pochettino was that he was the lucky beneficiary of, yes, he was a good coach. Yes, we identified talent and it worked out well at the time, but there were other things going on at the football club that made everything pull in the right direction. We were just leaving the White Hart Lane. Everyone was looking forward to going to Wembley for a year. Then we were doing well in the Champions League. The new stadium was being built. The energy around the football club was really good. And externally, outside of Tottenham Hotspur, a lot of the big teams were going through their own transitional period throughout that 3 or 4 year kind of honeymoon zone that we were in. And I think that maybe there was a lot of just like the perfect storm of variables that all played into our overachievement and outperformance. And I think that if he comes back, those things don't exist. And in fact, the headwinds that exist now because of the toxicity in the fan base, the general unhappiness, that all this stuff, the stress, and all the other teams catching up and outperforming. I'm not sure it will be as good. And I actually think that it won't work with Poch the second time round. But I still think it's an important exercise to go through, because I think there's a massive slice of this fan base that haven't got over him. And I think they need to get over him for us to reset as a football club and to move on past the Poch era. Because every single time we lose a game, all I see on Twitter is people with their Pochettino graphic saying, "Come home, bro, come home." Yeah. I think that we need to have that one last dance with him just to get it out of our system, scratch the itch.
For me, Sean, it's number one, he will bring a feel-good factor back to the club. He'll lift the club. If you see Pochettino's announced, he comes into the club, first game that he's manager, there'll be a major buzz around the place. Number one. Number two, this squad needs a massive rebuild. And Poch is the only manager that the fans will give time to rebuild it. So
he's also got a great track record with young players, and we've got this youth academy that everyone's been telling us for ages that these guys are the future. Your Mikey Moores, your Luca Barnett-Williams, etc. Well, he's the only manager we've had in recent years who's actually taken youth products and done something with them. Your Winkses, your Skips. He got all these guys. All right, they weren't all superstars for us. He developed Harry Kane more than anyone else did. A number of people came through under him. The other thing is, I just think the analogy Sean did, he's like that girl or boy that broke your heart first and you never really gotten over, and you just got to get out your system. And I think if this season turns out as bad as I think it might, I can't think of anyone else that will placate everyone enough. And by the board, which I'm sure we're going to come on to, I'm very not convinced about this whole rebrand thing, but give the board time to actually get the stadium packed again, the vibe's good. Now, how long that lasts for, I don't know, but I think it's something that it's going to happen sooner or later. And to the guy's point, or the question, the super chat's point, if Poch hadn't been with us, remember, this point he's won a league now. He did a good job at Chelsea. It took ages, but he turned that team around. They were playing some great stuff. They were chasing us down hard that season, and it was only that they ran out of games that they didn't finish above us. So I don't think he's been a failure at all subsequently to us. And obviously, if he hadn't managed us, he might have done really well at another club. So I'm not against it at all.
Yeah,
I'm against this board making any decisions, and quite frankly, these are the clowns that went online and said to us, we've gone through a really deep, thorough analysis of 10, 15 managers, and we've identified Frank. He's the one after a rigorous analysis that we've identified as our guy. So if you go and chase him, you're the same decision makers making the same decisions for the next guy.
It's like politicians, isn't it, mate? You can move from Labour to the next iteration of Conservative, and all you get is just a reshuffle of the same people that screwed up the last time, and vice versa, right? It's never changing until you change the source. We will come to that. We will come to that particular topic about the ownership and the DOF in just a second. Let me just get back to the super chats. Where are they? I can't find them. Here we go. Big up to you though for that one, Rob. Appreciate you, mate. I hope that answered your question. I think most of us would like him, but maybe for different reasons. Big up to Rob Brown, who has gifted and membership as well. Whoever received that, then please do say thank you to Rob as well. Big up to you, Rob. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that generosity. And we will do some members-only content very soon, and then we can get everybody on to come and do a fan show or something, like I just did on Spurs Talk Show a minute ago. Rob Brown's come back in with another one. Big up to you, mate. He says, I'd like to get the opinion of the Spurs Five. Should we keep Frank until the summer, sack him, and bring in an interim? If so, who? Sack now, but replace with who? We've sort of kind of covered this, right? Are we all on the same page that there's no point in sacking him unless there's a clear identifiable target? There's no point in having an interim, right? An interim's not going to help.
I'd rather get the interim. I just want him out.
Oh, you do?
I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this football anymore. And I'd rather we bring in an interim with some Spurs DNA who at least will try and get us playing some football. If the season ends up tanking, I'd rather just enjoy the remainder of the games and watch like It's going to get more and more toxic. If we crash out the FA Cup, we go out of the Champions League, and we're doing this badly in the league. What's the stadium atmosphere going to be like in February when we've got horrific games coming?
Yeah. It's like
It's going to be spicy.
You look over the hill and you go, "Oh God, the Germans are coming!"
It's going to be awful.
Yeah. Luba, I think you're saying don't sack him unless you've got a replacement. I think Stel, you're saying the same though, right? Generally, if you could replace him with someone right now, you would. But Luba, you know Poch is your guy, and you can't get Poch until the summer, so you'd rather wait for him. Stel's saying, but if that's not happening, then don't.
The one thing someone actually mentioned to me, what happens? You know, we're 4 points off 5th place.
Yeah,
and we'd have been 5th if we'd have been 5th tonight if we'd have beaten Brentford and Sunderland.
Yep.
So
we failed.
We're not going to listen. For me, we're not going to win a trophy. We're not going to get relegated, and that's been my way of thinking. But you know what? If we're 4 points off and we bring in, if we bring in a progressive manager as an interim, get Solanke and Kulusevski back within the next month. If don't know, nobody knows. You know, we're not getting any information out of the club, and they do bring in a couple of good players. Then 5th place is possible. Listen, we're there or thereabouts. If you'd have said in August, we'll be 4 points off the Champions League spot.
I think the last thing that Tottenham need is another Champions League run next season.
Yeah.
Lubo, are you saying change bringing an interim?
Do I think about bringing an interim? I think that
was that your answer just now?
If things are not improving, and they're not at the moment in terms of results, I still, for me, if Poch comes in, he will want European football, won't he? Whatever. I'm not saying Champions League, but
would you bring in an interim right now?
Would I bring in an interim if the right person came in for 5 months, 6 months? I think I probably would now. Do
you know? Please don't take this the wrong way. I have no idea where you stand on anything. Do you know? I genuinely have no idea.
Honestly,
I don't know who I'm arguing with or debating with.
Where I am, Stel, I'll tell you where I am.
We just argued about the stats of Frank and you defended him, and now you say, "Yeah, what it is." I just don't know.
They're two different things. Stel, they're two different things. I'm talking about stats. We were comparing Frank to Ange. I don't think, I said before, I don't think either of them are good enough for Spurs. They're way off the levels that we should be having as a manager. So the whole thing.
Frank, you have a go at me.
No, because you're so far Ange in because he won a trophy.
Ange, he's gone.
No,
he's gone.
No, but you compare Frank to Ange, and you bash Frank and use Ange as a reason. On many occasions, it was like we should have kept Ange for the first 12 games. Why? Look what happened with Forest. Forest are in deep shit now.
So hold on. So when I criticise Frank, you challenge me not because I'm wrong, but because I bring up Ange.
No, on the facts. I challenge you on facts. Forget Ange. I don't want to talk.
When I said all the metrics have gone down in terms of part, do you know what? In fact, I don't know where I stand. Do you know what? I don't know where I stand with what you say. I don't.
I really want to run the flip-flop jingle, but I know it really annoys Lubo. So I'm not
Ian needs to get sponsorship from Havaianas.
Oh, fuck it, we're doing
We have a flip-flop. Everyone changes their mind. Like they didn't say that last time. We have a flip-flop, trying to erase the past. Well, buddy, you're having a laugh.
Listen, can I say?
Listen, I want Poch in the summer. If Frank goes now or he goes in the summer,
I don't know what
difference. Seriously, what difference does it make a difference?
You know, regarding the interim, I mean this. I'm not doing.
You're going to flip flop too.
I might as well.
Don't let me play it twice.
Do you know what I really want? I've actually. We need to be different, right? We can't copy the rest because clearly we either don't know how to do it or we just refuse to do it. I want us to be innovative and just think outside the box and do something that no club's done before. And actually, I think we could pioneer a new trend in the game. I want us to look at the NFL. And I think what we should do, I mean this, I'm being out of the box. Bring Ange and say, you're the offensive coach.
Yeah.
Frank, you're the defensive coach. And together, we are going to have 2 managers.
Yeah, because 2 directors of football work so well, which we're going to come on to in just a moment. Stel, it's
Really?
gonna work.
Why not special teams? Like, listen, we're in the attack more. Ange, your show. We're defending more. Frank, your show.
You have set piece coaches, right? You have set piece coaches.
Yeah, but we need. I think if we just let Ange teach them how to attack, and then let Frank teach them how to defend, I think we're onto something. I think this could revolutionise the sport. And they split the salaries.
Everyone wears headgear and shoulder pads and the tight
Well,
thing.
with Romero on the pitch, you might have to, yeah.
You know what? Normally, still, you put if you're going to do a joint manager, you'd have the best attacking manager and the best defensive manager. And these
do
guys,
that, but for now,
these guys are both mid as hell. So
listen, we've all said tonight Frank's improved us defensively, and we've all said the data show that we're better attacking.
But Stel, where's the delineation? Is it just when you cross the halfway line? Is it on set pieces? Where's the delineation?
We need a third guy as a mediator.
Yeah. You imagine Ange is going like, hey, let me get in there. I want to tell you what to do, boys. And then like Frank's going, oh no.
But imagine the players.
And we need to try work harder in the defensive end.
No, it's my turn now.
6-7 minutes.
Yeah, and you'd have Frank doing press conferences. It's who we are, mate. It's who we are. Great.
Can you imagine them 2 in a press conference? How different the 2 styles were. You got like
when we've got
Ange berating people.
Right,
and then you've got Frank
when we've got
moaning.
Possession of the ball.
A pair of them. Can you imagine the pair of them having a go at the fans together?
Yeah, 2 timing, doubling up, going for a
doubling up.
Listen, can we get some semblance of normality back? We have to get back to the super chats and move on with the show. With this madness.
Listen, I'm trying to be creative, people. I'm trying to think differently. I'm trying to,
You're thinking outside the box, man.
Yeah, let's get relegated. Yeah.
I wish we could defend outside the box a little bit more. Tony Angevisky. I don't know if that's right, but big up to you. Another Australian. You guys are very generous out in Australia right now, mate. Big up to you. He says, in the 23-24 season, when Ange came 5th, go have a look where Brentford finished. This
16th.
is our coach. 16th, was it?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Big up to you, mate. Thanks very much.
Look at Brentford now, people, without him.
Yeah.
They're better.
That goes back to what Ferg was saying at the start, right?
Hang on. 10 of Frank's players played against us. It's not Andrew's team. This is Frank's team.
Yeah, but same guy I know. So Spurs are saying they're playing better football now than they were under.
Wissa, Norgard, Tony, and Buemo.
Evolution, not revolution. That's the thing.
Out the 11
all the players that fans say, but look at the attackers Frank had. Look what he had there. They're not there.
None of the attackers we got. Still, look at the attackers we got.
Yeah, but the thing, you're missing my point. When he had those players, he was worse than the guy that hasn't got those players, is the point. That's what I'm saying.
He's lost Mbuemo, he's lost Wissa, he's lost Norgard, and he's lost Flecken.
And Tony. And Norgard to Arsenal.
Yeah, but he's lost Flecken this season, and they're doing without it. It's a bit like people pillaring Iraola. He's lost his back 5.
But would you not think Kelleher's more than an adequate replacement for Flecken?
Kelleher's a decent signing, but he's still a lot of change to deal with. He lost the whole coaching staff, and he's got more points than Frank ever had at this stage of the season, ever.
That's got to be a tough stat to swallow for Tommy Frank, isn't it? To be honest,
it is.
Guys, let's get back. Let's finish the super chats. It's great segues. Let me just finish the super chats and then we move into the next segment. Coys72, big up to you, buddy. Big up to you, my man. He says, bring back Dyer Simples. I don't know. I mean, he went on to have a good career. Bundesliga champion. Now he's smashing up the casino in Monaco, doing a good thing with his mate Akliouche. Sometimes you never know. Sava's in the house. Big up to you, Sava. He says, big up chaps. Good chat. Thank you very much for the generous super chat, Sav. Very cool of you, mate. He said, Plettenberg just said that Kane's signing a new contract until 2029. Lubo, your man, Jeff, is in the mud. He's
It
been wrong
Jeff.
again.
It wasn't Jeff, it was Howard. And I was seeing,
Oh, Howard.
he sits 2 rows in front of me at Spurs. He said yesterday, I said to him yesterday, when's Kane coming? And he said he's coming.
Yeah, he's not
Obviously
coming, bro. He's not
Obviously
coming. He kept moving that goalpost on that arrival time until he ran out of steam. Unfortunately,
Is it 2029? He'll be there.
He'll be there. Yeah,
It's a shame. Poch, Mitchell, and Kane coming back next summer would be fantastic. Never see that's the story of Tottenham, isn't it? Never happens, does it?
Big up to you, Saba. Thank you very much, mate. Very, very, very generous of you. Also, very generous of Super Early Birds. Big up to you, my man. Thank you so much as well. He says, can't see any players wanting to join this shambles. A complete mess, top to bottom. Probably worst setup in my 45 years as a Spurs fan. Whole Spurs. He says, does the panel think anyone will join? And if so, who? Can I save that? I'm going to save that super chat for the last segment.
That's a great super chat, you know.
Yeah, it is. We'll come back to it, mate, because we always finish up with transfer news, views, and clues, and we've got a little bit there to go through. So I'll save that one. Thank you very much indeed, my man. George, Super Cup Legends, put in a super sticker. Big up to you, buddy. £2. Thank you very much. Choo choo to you. Choo choo to you, George. Very cool of you, my man. Moderator as well. And JB Macaulay has come back in. No, Aussies. The Aussies are generous. Exchange rate must be flying for you. If France is still in charge when they come to Australia, if Frank, is still in charge when they come to Australia, I will personally roll Vinay for the money back. Some of the worst football in 55 years. Frank out, says JB Macaulay. Listen, I think we've covered the Thomas Frank subject, at least for now. I'm sure it will come back up in the next bit. Thank you very much, Jay. Thank you very much to all of you for your super chats. Super generous of all of you guys. Please do smash the like button, hit the subscribe. I'm going to put in the in the links now as I'll move on with the next segment. Here is Ferg's Twitter handle, guys. If you're enjoying Ferg's commentary and takes, and I certainly am, then please show him some love on Twitter. And hopefully we can get you back on again, Ferg. You've been you're much better than Johnny, let's be entirely honest. Absolutely sensational.
Who? Johnny who?
Johnny who? Yeah.
Doc Holiday.
Yeah. Big up to George. He's put he's pumped in the links there for everybody else. I'll pump them in individually as well for the links there. Listen, guys, let's talk about Paratici, right? Because as far as we're aware, he is going to be signing a new contract with Fiorentina. Rumors were out yesterday that he was actually going to miss the game, on Saturday he was going to miss the game to be in Florence. The story out today from Sport Witness, they're not like rumor mill, they just translate foreign press. They're saying that basically it's agreed, it's a done deal, but that Tottenham have asked for an extra week. I don't know what that's the purpose of that is for. Let's assume that he's out of here. How do you guys feel about this one? Was it always fait accompli? It was never going to work. Sitting there, dual co-directors. Stel just presented the idea of co-managers. Co-directors of football doesn't work. I never thought. I said it at the time it would never work. Even if they have like sort of lines of responsibility, there's always got to be a pecking order. And at the same time, when you're looking around at other clubs, as I said a minute ago, there's a lot of managers out there that are like bickering with their board because there's meddling going on with the directors of football. I think this is a problem that managers have to get on board with. They have to recognize that in this day and age, you don't get to have the full say around what you want, or you don't always get what you want because your tenure is 18 months and the players that you want will come in on 4, 5, 6 year contracts. And so you don't always get what you want. But Thomas Frank has, gone about little ways, having little digs, making out like the systems that he's inherited here in terms of talent ID isn't up to scratch. Lang and Frank, maybe they're buddies from their heritage, but certainly
they work together. They work together in Denmark.
Yeah, they worked together at Denmark years ago. And obviously, maybe that's part of the reason that Thomas Frank felt like it was a bit cliquey. Ferg, I'll start with you, mate. Paratici leaving, is it a shame? Is it a disgrace? Who's to blame? What's your thoughts on the whole topic?
I just think probably he wanted full control, didn't really get given it. He's sharing it with Langer. Langer will obviously be closer to Frank because they have a relationship. You got to have one. You got to have one chef. Yeah, you can't have loads of chefs. It's just bad idea. Like they're just going to get in each other's way. Who knows? I mean, the whole thing about this ENIC 2.0 and all these people coming in, like none of them are football people. None of the people they brought in are football people. Vinay's not really a football person. He's more of a PR guy, stroke CEO. Carrington's certainly not a football person. So who's in charge? Who are they going to? At least in the past, for his foibles, they went to one man, and one man had the sort of Damocles over the whole thing, yay, nay. Now, who is the person? They've not made that clear. Is it Vinay who decides? Is it Charrington who decides? Did I have to go and take it over to the Lewis family, TM? Who makes the decision? I've got a feeling he's not getting what he wants. Fiorentina have probably offered him a big bag, full control. It probably suits him to go there. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you got to take everything in the Italian media with a pinch of salt. A bit like the Spanish media, which I know really well. It's there are certain papers out there that just waffle and make stuff up. But I don't think either of them should be our director of football, to be honest. And I think we need to burn that down and rebuild that too. I don't think either of them are right for the club. Langer was sacked or demoted and then got rid of quickly at Villa for a reason. I don't think we spent a fortune under him, under Ange, and I looked through it, and a lot of the signings are very, very poor. So I've got a lot of question marks on him. I've got a lot of question marks on Frank. And if Fabio Paratici has gone, I just don't trust these people with our transfer window. That's the truth. I don't trust the manager, and I don't trust the directors of football. So it's a pickle.
So just quickly before I come to the others, do you presume that, I know we're not going to know any difference, if there is truth to the idea that Paratici's been sorting himself out a new gig, do you think he's really not been paying that much attention or given that much cares or consideration to what he's been doing at Tottenham? These things don't just come around overnight, right? So he's probably, if there is truth to it, he's probably been working on that in the background for a month or so at least. Do you think he's basically been on kind of like gardening leave or checkedout.com? And so what's his effort? What's the January window looking like at the moment?
I think he was one of Levy's last acts in power was to agree a deal with him that they couldn't renege on. I mean, this is completely me just like, just my opinion. And I think they brought him in, and maybe Vinay and the others didn't really want him. And it was just, they probably have put him on garden leave. Maybe they're just allowing him to do deals for Solomon, maybe Bissouma or someone else he doesn't want, to take them out there to Italy, which does us a favour. And they probably want to use his Rolodex to try and get a couple of players over the line before he goes. It's the only reason I could think they want to delay it a week. But it's just a complete mess. It's just a complete mess. And the whole rebrand was supposed to relaunch everything. We're a serious club. We want to win things. We want to do things properly. But it doesn't pass the taste test. It doesn't feel any different to me. I don't know what the others think, but I just can't see any change personally. Just more people.
Yeah. Stel does feel like I completely agree with Ferg. It feels like it used to be one guy in charge, too much to do. Now it's 10 people in charge, a lot of number twos, no number ones. Don't know who's really leading the company, the football club, and at the directorship level, football side. I feel like I'm not sure if the tail's wagging the dog or the other way around. What's your thoughts?
It doesn't matter. You can put whoever you want in place. It's the same nonsense. They've known for 6 weeks that we need a left winger, another striker. We need a ball playing number 8. We're now into the first week of January. No idea who's coming in. Nothing done about what they've known for 6 weeks. We're definitely going to go into the Bournemouth game and the Villa game without any new signings, but we're happy to ship out players because an opportunity comes to make some money. So Frank admitted that it was opportunistic that we sold Johnson. It wasn't by design. So we've done it for the money. And then you've got us fans sitting here watching shit football, shit tactics every week, praying to God we sign some decent players and it might improve. And we're going to probably have to wait until the end of January before anything gets done. The only players we're linked to are kids, a left back from Brazil, another kid from Europe. Today we're linked with a Greek.
Players at AFCON.
Great players at AFCON. A Greek winger, great. As someone that's Greek, I can say this. I don't want any Greek players signing for this club. They're all low-grade football players that spend most of their career in lower-level leagues for a reason. How many Greek players are in the Premier League? The only good Greek player that's ever played in this league is Giannakopoulos, who was at Bolton Wanderers, and he was part of a team that won the Euros in 2004. So
I have to disagree about Solis. I think he's a very good player. But
Yeah,
He
in
was at
Belgium, it
Norwich.
looks fantastic. It looks great in Belgium.
He was at Norwich, so it's not like he's not played in England at all.
And he flopped at Norwich. Didn't do
Yeah, he
well
did.
there at all. Listen, bring him in, Moani 2.0, just like I told you, Moani. Again, another game, no goals, no assists. Every week I tell you about this, Colo.
All right, there you go. Here you go. There you go. Yeah.
Everyone, 3 months ago that is now.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That's aged like a vintage
What about
wine.
what about Georgios Samaras? He had really good hair.
Listen, he was good in Scotland. In that league, in the best team in that league, he was a good player for them. But look, at the end of the day, guys, I don't believe, no matter what football director we get in, anything's going to change until this ownership decides what it wants to do. Like, what does it want? And I still don't believe they know what they want. They say the right things. They say things that sound good. But until there's direction of, are we building a squad to try and win a Premier League? Are we building a squad to try and win a Champions League? Are we just building a team that's going to go back to what Poch did and knock on the door, get close, and see if we can take it that one step further? Until they decide that, how can you have a transfer policy? How can you know what manager you want? How can you have any idea of what to do with the club? So, guys, keep Lange, get rid of him, bring Paratici, bring Mitchell. Nothing will change until this club makes a decision on what it wants. And I don't know what they want, Sean. All I know is, for 6 weeks, they knew what the problems are. And so far, nothing looks like it's going to be fixed in this window. And the fact Frank is saying, we might not sign anyone this window, that is fucking alarming for any season ticket holder to hear that shit. We don't deserve that as fans. I pay a lot of money for my season ticket and we're not going to sign anyone. What am I paying for? What have I actually paid for?
Yeah, I think this window is going to be. Don't get me wrong. I still bang out the transfer news, views, and clues content every single day. But I do think that this window is going to be a massive fucking disappointment of epic proportions. But we shall see. Lubo, Paratici, just to round off the take there. I mean, look, there's more. There's a lot of politics that goes on in football. We never know what's going on behind the scenes, but you do get insights of it when you listen to certain managers in other clubs talking about why they're leaving. You know, like Amarim saying I was brought in to be a manager, but they're asking me to be a coach. You had Maresca saying I had the worst 48 hours of my life because the people above him are basically telling him to play players that he doesn't want to play because they need to get their value up. There's a lot of shit that's going on. I'm sure it's exactly the same at Tottenham. What's your take on why Paratici wants out? Was he always using us for a better move? Was it always doomed to fail? Or do you think there was genuine like willingness to make it work, but it's not for him?
I'm not 100% convinced he's leaving, Sean.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay.
I'm genuinely not convinced. I think you saw him with Vinay. Was it at Brentford on Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a charm offensive going on. They don't want him to leave. So, you know, I think David Pleat is talking to people behind the scenes. So at least they've got somebody with a football brain that's there.
He's there a lot. Pleat's there a lot.
He's still knocking about. How old is David Pleat now?
82, I think.
78.
Fucking hell! What are we doing here? It's the Joe Biden of the footballing world. He's still knocking about. Fuck's sake! Jesus Christ!
But you know what, Sean? He knows more about football than the rest of them put together.
Oh, I'm sure
he does.
That's not hard.
Yeah, he does. That's fair play.
You know, so
and he can spot a player. To be fair, as well, he can spot a player. His track record's pretty good.
Yeah, but when Munkay came in, Levy said we don't need him because it's all down to data analysis. Another Levy bozo job.
So David Pleat is still employed by the club in what capacity? I didn't know this.
I know he works for Celtic. He's got a coaching thing at Celtic, but he's been. There's lots of photos of him at the club. He's there a lot now.
Like as a consultant or as a coach?
Maybe as a consultant.
He's just there. I don't know.
No.
At 82 years old, if I'm still alive at 82, I'd be more concerned about whether I can remember which sock is like the right side to my feet or whatever than worrying about trying to spot the next big talent. This madness. I mean, fair play to him if he's still got his marbles, but like that's quite surprising information. So what are you saying, Lubo? You think the Paratici and David Pleat and and Johan Lang can all work like co-symbiotic stuff, yeah?
I think there's a power battle going on, and it'll be interesting to see who wins out.
I think you're right. I can see Paratici being a good chess player and trying to force the club's hand, but it's just really difficult to. Oh God, that made me laugh.
Listen, it's obvious. Listen, it's obvious from Vinay putting Paratici and Lang together on the same level that Vinay doesn't want to upset anybody, does he? He doesn't want to make any hard decisions.
No.
And I think what Simon Jordan alluded to on TalkSport the other week, that Vinay is a number 2 that's been transported up into a number 1. And I said on your show last week, didn't I, Sean, that Levy micromanaged everything. So he led from the front, but on absolutely everything, and didn't delegate at all, didn't delegate anything, which is major failing. And now we've gone to the other extreme where there's a vacuum now. There's no real leadership.
It seems like a massive committee, but who makes the decisions? At least like
exactly.
Previously you went to the one man, but now who's making the decision? Is it of all these people that have joined the board, and obviously they need to upscale the organisation because that's what happens at proper companies. But who is in charge now? That seems to be unclear.
But Lubo, when you and Johnny a couple of weeks ago said you're excited about the new structure, are you still excited or not so much?
It was a couple of months ago.
I'm just asking because
Stel's just on the poke. He's just poking.
I'll tell you what it is. As a fan, I hate.
I've got a list of quotes here.
As a fan, I hated 25 years of Levy and Lewis. So if we got new owners, it's the hope that kills you as a Spurs fan. You just
we haven't got new owners. That's the problem.
No, we got new people there. So you just hope as a Spurs fan. Otherwise, they may as well sell. And if they don't sell and they don't change, then we're screwed completely. And we're just going to go down and down and down. And sooner or later, in the next few years, we'll end up in the Championship. Because that's where we're heading at the moment. If this isn't stopped,
it's interesting that they got a guy known for his PR in from Arsenal, right? He's known for his PR. He's known to be good at spinning things and talking to the fans. And then all of a sudden, there's this rebrand of the Lewis family to the Lewis family, and that's all we're hearing all the time. It's the Lewis family. They're saying things like, I don't know if Levy did that in that interview to drop them in it when he mentioned winning the league, winning the Champions League. But then they're coming out with stuff like, we want to be winning more regularly, etc. Yeah. But right, these kids that are OAPs, they have never cared previously for 25 years. They haven't been involved. Now, obviously, that could be Joe. That could be lots of things. But it just seems very rich that all of a sudden, like, they're going to do things differently and we really care about the club. It seems...
They had 25 years to say to Daddy, look, take this more seriously.
Do you think they've looked at Bilbao and the parade and realised what a big club Spurs actually are and how under-potentialised the football side has been since they bought it? And they're actually thinking,
maybe. But look, their first action was not to put money in. Their first action was to get a payday loan, right? Then their second action was to put in 100 million quid. And they said, oh, there's more behind it. If you need it, let us know what you need. Just fucking put the money in then. Like, why'd you put the 98 million pound payday loan first? Well, you've got to pay 3 or 4, 5, 6%, whatever it is on that interest for the time. That money's got to be paid back later on, right? Then you put 100 million quid in saying, well, there's more behind it. Like, you know that you're going to need 300-400 million quid. So if you really want to show us that you mean business, put in the 400 million, right? Or maybe more than that, Luba. But I'm saying,
can I ask you a question about the money?
A decent amount of money. One second, let me rant here. At least put that money in if you really mean it. But they don't really mean it. And I think for me, what really pissed me off was that we saw the colour of other people's money. We saw that tech bro DJ, right? That the guy from The Sun dropped that story on. And it turned out that there was some truth to it because he showed that he was invited as an investor to go around the club and the training ground and all that stuff. And that his what was it called? Tottenham Blueprint 2.0 or whatever it was called, Blueprint 2.0. He said, we'll buy the club. We'll put in $1.5 billion worth of working capital. Like, that's the colour. Whether he would have been the right guy, whether he would have, put in the right money, whatever. But you saw some...
Sean, 2 of them dropped out.
No, they dropped out after the club said, we're not interested in anything at all. We're not for sale. And they go, okay, fair enough. I'm not saying that there was necessarily going to be something behind it, but at least the guy went to The Sun, put the story out there. Why would he bother doing that for shits and giggles? It's a hell of a lot of a waste of time just to do that to wind up Tottenham fans. I think that the Tottenham owners were furious that the Sun story leaked that showed the alternative. Until now, people like myself have always said, all right, if there's something better, then I'll see it, I'll analyze it, and then I'll get behind it if there is. You saw whether it was actually as it looked, who knows, but you saw that there was at least some colour to that money. And then since then, the new Lewis children have taken out a £98 million payday loan, and they put 100 million quid in saying, you know, there's more behind it. Just fucking put it in. Put it in. 100 million pound doesn't touch the sides. Doesn't touch the sides anymore. It's nothing, is it?
It's a player and part of his contract. It's nothing.
Everyone's asking the flip-flop song should be played for you in the chat.
Okay, if that's what they want.
They're
not getting what they want. I'm not a flip-flop. I'll do it. I don't mind.
We have a flip-flop, flip-flop. Everyone changes their mind. Like they didn't say that last time. We have a flip-flop, flip-flop. Trying to erase the past. Well, buddy, you're having a laugh.
My chairman.
That was a big one.
Oh, it's a lovely bit of Ian there.
Can I ask a question about the money at Spurs? At the start of the season, I got an email saying that the entrances have changed a little bit to the stadium because they're building the hotel and things were boarded up and they boarded off the back of the South Stand. And nothing's happened.
The hotel's been on pause. They're not doing it right now.
What's that about then? What's happened there?
Didn't they just do enough so that the planning, like they don't have to follow the time limit for the planning? So they've done like the piling and some of that work, but they've just stopped.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, they've basically the hotel's on pause, pending further decisions. But I know that I'm sure they have to build the stadium before the 28th.
They have to do it for the Euros, yeah.
So that hotel's going to get built. Then it has to happen.
Well, or we sacrifice the stadium as a venue, I guess.
Yeah,
which they won't do.
Well, how much money are they going to make from the stadium venue lease versus how much it will cost them to build a stadium, build a hotel?
It'll be less. They'll make less,
right? So maybe they'll just sit there and go, "Fuck it, we won't do
concerts instead."
Do concerts instead, yeah. I'm sure it will get built at some point, but again, just go to shit show, right? Shit show. You can't even follow through on a plan around a hotel.
But they've only got 2 years to get it built now.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of an undertaking to get a building of that size done, fitted out in that time.
Jason's saying the hotel is on pause just in case we get relegated. That's interesting, isn't it?
I don't think there's any chance of that. I hope not. God, can you imagine if we went down to the Championship?
You know, sometimes you just get a feeling for something. Like as soon as Levy stepped down and I saw Vinay, Charrington, and then Charrington starting an investigation on Levy, I think that was the moment for me, guys. When they started an investigation on Levy, I said, hold on. There's something not right here. This doesn't make sense. He's a 30% owner and you're investigating him as if for 25 years no transparency, no auditing, no. That's when I realised this new structure, I don't think it's going to change anything at Spurs. I don't think they're here for the right reasons, if I'm honest with you guys. I just got a feeling when it all happened. I
still suspect that they believe that Premier League teams haven't hit the sort of peak of the value that they're going to get because the new streaming right, if they go to Premflix, that type of a model, the amount of money each club's going to get from TV is going to explode. It's going to be so much higher than it is now. And they still haven't really hit NFL team levels of value yet. So I think they're going to make way more money than they do. Or they're planning to bring the NFL franchise to London. That would be the other thing that they could do that would explode the value of the club.
They've been trying that for years, though. They've been trying that.
It'll happen sooner or later, whether it's them or someone else. It's going to be here sooner or later.
Do you know what I think Spurs should do? Again, another pioneering idea. We should pull away from Sky Sports, right? Don't need them. Pull away from Amazon and pull away from them all and just start our own in-house pay-per-view. If you charge £10 a game, and let's say you get 200,000 Spurs fans that pay a tenner a game, or they get a season ticket pass, You can generate over £100 million a year that you control and that you can build on if you went on a. We will televise our own games on a pay-per-view basis and just take it away from Sky.
Stelios, that's the whole idea of this Prem Flick. They interestingly, 2 years ago,
is that what
they Prem Flicks are just like calling
Like
their name, right? But basically, what they did a couple of years ago, they used to outsource all the filming of the games to other companies. They brought that all in house. They set up their own production company, right? They could do a deal with Amazon, they could do a deal with Apple, and they could build their own model like Netflix for football. You could subscribe to one team, you could subscribe to all the games. They could charge 70, 80, £100 a month. People will pay it.
They'll do it. It will happen eventually, but the naming rights is already secured up to 2029, 28-29 season, and then they'll figure it out. But look, I think that there's also politics at play, right? Sky B is like dead. If they lose the live sports franchise, them as a company is dead, and they've got
Comcast bought them, and they are being very aggressive to try and keep hold of the sporting rights because they know. At the moment they lose that, it's dead. That's why Sky have been always so aggressive about getting the TV deals. But eventually, plus there's the rules about the 3 p.m. blackout. But if they remove the 3 p.m. blackout, they charge £100, £150 a month. People will pay it.
I think the numbers. I think even if they were to charge £10 a month, I think Simon Jordan did the numbers on this.
That'd be massive.
£10 a month for just for people in Europe to buy access to the Premier League. And the football clubs would 3x their TV broadcast revenue than what they currently get. I think at the moment the package is worth something like £5 billion, and at £10 a month, the Premier League clubs would get something, or the total package for Premier League clubs would be something like 15 billion, and it could be distributed out more evenly. The money then gets distributed down the pyramid to other clubs as well. It makes no sense not to do it. The only thing you've got to get past, as you say, Ferg, is the politics of the 3 p.m. blackout. And then also just making sure that the lobbyists at Comcast.
But even if you didn't do the 3 p.m s, if you still left them off and you did one subscription instead of Sky taking their lion's share of the money, the clubs could get that money, bar the cost for the production costs and the cut for the streaming. They can make an absolute packet. They'll destroy, even without the 3 p.m s, they'll destroy the amount of money they get from Sky. So they've got to be looking at that. And the club owners will be thinking, we have not maximized the value of our franchise yet. So that's probably what they're thinking. This isn't enough money.
100%. And that's what it will happen. It might, whether they get it, if Sky B wins the, and TNT or whoever it is, continues to win the next set of broadcast rights deals, even if they up it to $6.5 billion, then you know that there's something going on where people are getting backhanders of serious amounts of money left and right to make it that way, because it doesn't make any sense to keep it in the traditional media. They should absolutely just take it all in house. And you're absolutely right for what you're saying, but we won't know until 28, 29 when they renew. So I'd be surprised if it should have happened a long time ago, but it hasn't. Guys, we've got 2 more topics to go before we finish off. Quick Bournemouth preview and then any sort of transfer news, views and clues. Let's start with Stel on this one. Bournemouth up. When is it? Wednesday night?
Yeah, Wednesday night.
We don't know if Semenyo will be there or not. We sort of touched on it earlier.
I think the reports where he will be, that'll be his last game if the City deal goes through. That was the reports that I've heard the last week. So
there you go.
Not great.
Not great. Always the way, isn't it? Always the way. One last chance to punch us in the gut. Stel, I'll start with you, mate. What's your thoughts? Away from home, though, we are sort of champions away from home league form. We got walked off the park at our place earlier on in the season. What's your thoughts on the game, mate?
Yeah, I mean, Simmons is back, but Kudus will be out. So, one in, one out. I don't think we're going to go for it. We are more defensive on the road than what we are at home. So I expect a stink fest. Bournemouth actually played quite well against Arsenal. See, this is a weird game because Bournemouth aren't as bad as where they are in the league. They're actually decent. The problem is, at the back, they're a mess. They've lost their 4 main defenders from last season, and Iriola hasn't adapted it, and they're struggling. So we will definitely get chances, but they're going to really test us. it's got draw written all over it, hasn't it? They're not going to be good enough to beat us because defensively they're wide open, but we don't play enough attacking football to go and win a game. So either a 1-1 or a 2-2 would be another game where we only pick up a point. I think we'll probably end up staying 14th or going to 15th by the end of the day. And I stick to what I said. You know, there was 12 games coming up. I said we're going to win 3. We've won 1, which was against Palace. I definitely think we're going to beat West Ham in a couple of weeks because they are god-awful. And then the rest of these games, we're just going to draw, lose. So my prediction is a draw away to Bournemouth. And that's really sad to say that because they're below us in the league. And I have no confidence that we're going to go there, impose ourselves and take the game to them. We're going to sit there, play for a draw, somehow get a goal. And it's just going to be another emergency crisis podcast all over YouTube, isn't it? So, yeah, draw. I'm going for a draw.
So for the predictions league, what are you saying? 1-1, 2-2, 3-3? 0-0?
I've just got a feeling of 2-2.
I'm also going for a 2-2, by the way. So if you want to write that one down before Lubo copies me again.
You copied me last time.
No. You just spoke before I did.
You normally wait for me to give my score, and then you make sure you have a look and see how many points ahead of me you are.
That's right. Yeah. How far ahead are you? Do you have the latest? You have the latest scores.
Yeah.
I need to change it because I can't catch you if I copy you or if you copy me. In fact, hold on.
It's 18 more games to go. There's 18 more games. I wouldn't worry about it.
No. I'm going to predict whatever Ferg predicts. So whatever Ferg says, that's what I'm going with. That's my answer. Right. So whatever he says, if he says 2-2, then I've got to go 2-2.
All right. Ferg, I'll come to you then. What's your prediction and why?
I like to do it when I see the team sheet, but I'm going to go 1-0.
I'm going 1-0 then. I'm going 1-0.
Bringing in ringers. You're listening to this, people. He can't make up his own mind. He's bringing in ringers because he knows he can't do it by himself because you got this guy at the top of the predictions table, just unsurmountable. Can you show us the table, please? Can we get it up on the screen?
Yeah, we can, yeah. If we must.
It's hard work. It's honestly, it's hard work. It's just getting it right so frequently. Here we go. 15 points. Well, I've got twice as many points as Johnny. He's the West Ham, isn't he? He is the West Ham.
Johnny was the only one that predicted that we would beat Sunderland at home. And then, by the way, can I quickly say, Johnny is an absolute... He's hilarious. Last week, we did a show ending the season, ending 2025. And you asked him, Johnny, your summary of 2025. And Johnny's words were, good riddance, can't wait to see the back of it, 22 losses or whatever the stat was, bye-bye 2025. On the 1st of January, he jumps on this show, 2026, I want a fucking refund, dropping the stink bomb, right? Going in, okay? And then, 3 days later, on the 4th of January, 2026, he's walking outside the stadium, doing a video, another turgid performance, what was that?
Yeah, I think he's already trying to write off 2026, bring on 2027. I think I heard him say at one point.
4 days. 4 days it took. And he's yeah. So
Ferg, you're saying 1-1. Do you see us playing better football though? Like, away from home, we seem to be capable of doing something, or is it going to be set piece?
I think we'll sit back, set piece FC, try and hit him on a counter. He won't want to open up. They create loads and loads of chances. Even the games they got spanked against Brentford. They created tons and tons of chances. So he's going to be petrified of that. So I think we'll probably sit in like a low block. I don't know. He might do some pressing up the field, but they attack really quickly. They like to get the ball forward really fast and use Semenyo's physicality. So I think he'll probably low block it and try and steal the game with a set piece. I think they lost the keeper, and even though we all laughed at him when he was at Chelsea, Arif Balaga, the new keeper is pretty shaky at times. He's had a few howlers. He looks great in some games and then howlers in others. So I think they can be got, but they are dangerous on the attack.
Yeah. So 1-1 for you.
Yeah.
Over to Dr. Lubo.
Well,
Peaky Lugo, what are we saying?
they're 11 games without a win, aren't they, Bournemouth? So they're due a result.
Dr. Tottenham.
Yeah, got to Tottenham. 1-0 Bournemouth.
Dr. Frankenstein.
No way. We've got the best away record. You've got really 1-0 Bournemouth.
Semenya's last game for Bournemouth, probably. They're talking about, aren't they?
Yeah, it would be typical if he killed
Got
us.
to play another game. Why can't he just fuck off? You know, Brendan Johnson hadn't left Tottenham when he didn't play against Brentford. Why can't Semenyo just not play? You know, surely Man City would say, "Do us a favour."
I also need to be a little. I've also got to be different in terms of results because I've got to catch you, Sean. So
you don't have to be. Mate, there's 18 more games to go, mate. Don't worry about it. If you want to go the same as me,
we don't want you to pull away. We don't want you to pull away, though. This is the thing. You can't let you pull away.
I don't know. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we absolutely smash them and we start moving up the league. I just think they're due a result. They've done. They've drawn 6 and lost 5 the last 11. I think it is, and they're plummeting down the league. They've got to get
really good against Arsenal. They were really good. They didn't deserve to lose that game.
Sorry. I think they've been good. I think they've been good in most of the games. They're wide open. They play a certain style of football, but they're always in the game. Even the games they've lost, they've never really been completely outplayed. You know, or for the most part, at least.
Yeah. When you asked last week, Sean, how many points you thought we'd get from 4 games, the next 4 games, I said draw with Sunderland, lose to Bournemouth, beat West Ham and Burnley. I'm staying with that. Staying with that.
If we don't beat West Ham, I'm telling you, I'm going to switch. I'm going to demand a manager change. If we don't beat West Ham, I'm not having that. I'll take a lot, but I'll watch
video loading.
Mate, Wolverhampton Wanderers battered West Ham. They battered West Ham. Yeah. Wolverhampton Wanderers. If we can't beat West Ham at our ground, I'm sorry.
Are they not?
It's indefensible, whoever the manager is at Spurs. Even if Ryan Mason was here, I'd expect to win against this West Ham team. They're awful. They're a tragedy.
West Ham,
they're finished.
Still,
that might make them proud.
Huh?
They're buying a couple of strikers, I think.
Two, yeah.
Lubo. Wolves took them to
some guy called Tati, and they Tati something Christelos or
Tati
something.
and Pablo.
Yeah. Mate, Wolves have got 3 points out of 19 games. They play West Ham and batter them. There's mate, a draw against West Ham is inexcusable. We must beat West Ham. We must.
And you know what?
No matter how rubbish they are, they will turn up against us. It's the one game.
It can't happen. They're a tragedy of a club. They're finished, man.
Mate, the pressure on Tottenham to get 3 points in that game. You know, if Thomas Frank, that if we lose to West Ham at home, there will be riots at the stadium.
And rightly so. Yeah. Damn fucking right if we don't beat them.
Yeah, listen.
I expect us to win.
We'll cover that when we get to it. Just quickly, guys, so we're giving that prediction. So you've gone for 1-1 Stel. Johnny needs to give you his. Lubo's gone for 1-0 Bournemouth. I've gone for 2-2. We'll get Johnny's later on whenever he decides to turn up for work. We've got a few minutes. Let me just quickly do these super chats, and then we're going to come into the last section, which is about obviously the transfers. Just get your thoughts quickly on what we're talking about here. What's this one starred for? Lubo, you remind me of Elmer Fudd in that hat. Did you star that?
Yeah, is that a major insult?
Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd is the guy for like I saw a rabbit with the like the Disney. That's all. You know that one. Anyway,
I did see a rabbit.
That's it. Super Ellie Birds has come back in. I'm going to come back to your last super chat in a second, mate. He said, should have signed. Thank you very much again. Very generous. Should have signed Grealish. Would have fitted into Spurs' style. Another type of Hoddle, Gaza, Ardiles, Bale, etc. Frank would have blocked it as too much of a naughty boy in his classroom. Yeah, possibly. I mean, I thought when I saw the first few words of that Super Ellie Birds, I thought you were going to do a Lubo and go back to like 1975 when we missed out on a player, and it's all Daniel Levy's fault. Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much indeed for the generosity. And Levy, no, it's Connor's in the house. He said, Stel said he doesn't know what the owners want. I do, and it's never changed. Maximum investment return for minimal outlay. Great debut, Ferg. 100%, mate. You've been fantastic. Please come again. We look forward to having you on. Big up to you, Connor. Thank you very much as well for that, mate. Let's bring in this super early bird. He did ask the question about does the panel think anyone will join, and if so, who? Sort of free round table here, guys. We got, 26 more days. January window's difficult. The Europa League and the Champions League don't finish until late this year. That's a problem. AFCON's a problem. World Cup year makes it spicy and interesting as well. What would you like to see? What do you think we'll see? Ferg, I'll start with you.
We need to get a passing midfielder, someone with a better range of passing, a deep line player. I'd like Ruben Neves, someone like that would be tremendous, I think. I think we need left winger. I think we need left back. I think there would be the 3 players I'd go for this round. We need more than that, but this would be what I'd try and do in January. Maybe this Sousa guy. Maybe Diamande, if he is the guy they've decided. And then like a Ruben Neves or someone like that for the midfield, I think would be quite a mega change for our midfield. Make things a lot better.
Yeah, love that. Love you, Yandy Mandy. The Sousa guy's interesting for me. I like what I've seen, and I like the way he runs with the ball, and I love his crossing. His crossing is really, really tidy, and he's left-footed as well. But I do worry.
The only thing that worries me, Sean, is he's only played 24 professional games.
Yeah.
And that's a very small sample size. But he has got 8 goals in those.
Yeah. There wasn't a hell of a lot on the Y Scout for me to look through, but what I did see, I was quite impressed with. But also just the acclimation process. He's coming from Brazil or whatever. Like if you need someone now, is he the right guy? I'd prefer Nathaniel Brown at Frankfurt. I think he's going to be.
He looks a really good player.
Incredible balance. Great.
I was impressed with him in the Europa League run last year. Him and Ekatike were the 2 that I was like, I'd do anything to get both of them. But it
is what it is. Thanks, Ferg. Lubo, I'll come to you because I know what Stel's answer is going to be. Don't mind, don't care. The rumours are all bollocks. Move on. I know we get this every week, but Lubo, give me an interesting name, mate. And it can't be Harry Kane.
Akliouche.
Yeah?
Yep. There's one. Kone or Locatelli from midfield. I think we need to get Basuma out. Anthony Robinson at left back. There's your 3.
Robbo. How much would you pay on Robinson? Because he's 29 now, isn't he?
He's quite injury prone as well.
Yeah.
Got a bad heart as well, apparently.
Or do you go back in for the Santos boy, who's meant to be very, very good?
Sousa.
Yeah.
No more kids. No more kids, man. Please, no more kids.
Is that good still? If you've got...
we do this all the time. They're all good until they come here. They're all brilliant until they come here. Jesus.
I've got no idea what the Brazilian standard is. Like I've got I don't watch it. You can't access it really.
That guy Chelsea got is outstanding.
Listen, the problem is this, right? When these kids come to Spurs, this is the problem. If they don't have an instant impact, I've got to sit here listening to give it time. He's young. Be patient. These things take time. Oh, you're rash. We haven't got time. We're 14.
No,
we need instant impact, guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Right now, this club, unfortunately for any young talent, we can't afford to carry you whilst you're nurtured.
Yeah.
Tell Odegaard.
Chelsea, by the way, still look at Chelsea, right? £2 billion worth of talent spent on kids. Owners and directors of football that are saying to Maresca, you have to play him at some point in this game because I need his value up. Like the meddling is insane, and you wonder why the fans are impatient and the manager ends up going, "Fuck this! This is ridiculous. Sack me!" And they're going to bring in another yes man who's going to be that donut from Strasbourg, who's going to be doing exactly the same thing with kids. Like you need, it's proven. You don't win anything with a whole squad of kids. You need experience. You need maturity. You need people that have been there and seen it and done it. And Tottenham need to go and get a couple of players that are in late 20s. I don't even care if they're early 30s. I don't care. Go and get me Leon Goretzka, right? Go and get me him. Like he's been there and seen it and done it. And his passing stats are brilliant, even though people that the Twitter tacticos will tell you he's terrible. He isn't. But like he's been there and done it, and he knows how to get. He knows like when the whistle blows and they've gone across the line, these kids turn to like when the tactics don't work, when the game plan suddenly goes Pete Tong, they don't know what to do. And you need people on the pitch that will go like fucking just like
It's also circumstance. Like certain clubs could sign youngsters this window because it makes sense over the next 2-3 years. Okay, we are in trouble. We are not winning games and we're not playing good. For me, the biggest problem right now is we don't score goals. Partly because of the tactics, partly because when we do create a chance, we don't have good finishers at the club right now, not consistent ones. We need finishers, which is why someone said to me the other day, would you take Savinho? And I said, I don't know, because Mawani's a good player, but there's no end product and it's killing us. Odebert, no end product. Even Kudus, there's no end product, like 2 goals in 25 games. Richarlison, if he doesn't score, this is the state of affairs at Spurs. If Richarlison doesn't score a goal, we are depending on defenders to score.
Yeah.
We are depending on defenders to score if Richie doesn't.
But also, most of the goals that Richarlison has scored, with the exception of the overhead kick against Burnley and with the exception of the lob for Arsenal, every other goal he scores, you put any other player in the team, bar a couple, in the same position, and they would also probably finish it. Most of his goals have been high XG in 6-yard box sort of scores, right?
Yeah,
it's
not like range tap-ins, headers. Whoever we sign, we need someone that can score goals. We desperately need, whether it's a wide or a forward or an attack. We need goals, guys, from the attackers. And so when you say a kid, it's too much weight for that kid to carry, because the expectation is going to be, right, we need goals. We've got this 19-year-old Brazilian. That's great, but we're a pressure cooker waiting to explode if we haven't exploded already, which is why I don't want kids right now, Lubo. Not now. I don't think it makes sense.
The only thing with Akliouche is he was tremendous against us, but he normally plays on the right.
Yeah.
How old is he, Ferg?
23.
23.
All right, he's not a kid then. He's got, okay, I'm talking about
lightweight,
18, 19.
I don't know if he's going to handle the physicality of the Premier League.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Very good player.
If we sign him, I'm happy. I'm happy with him because he's not a kid. He's not someone that needs to be, cuddled and taught the language and integrate with the adults.
He needs to get in the gym and bulk up first and foremost. I think Ferg raises a good point though. Are you, if Kudus is still our first choice guy on the right, are you going and spending 65 million quid to have depth on the right before you've got anything fixed on the left? Or are you talking about Kudus moving over to the left? And if so, one of the reasons why Kudus was unhappy at West Ham was because he was asked to play on the left under Potter and the Italian fella. So
Akliouche can play in a 10 as well, but again, we got Siemens.
You got Xavi and you got Maddison and you got Decky that you need to squeeze in. So
Maddison's finished. Decky can play out wide if he has to. As long as Akliouche can come and get close to 10 goals from now to the end of the season, I'm all for it. I'm all for it because he's a good player. I like him.
I personally think Akliouche was the target when we were thinking about, do you want to get Xavi Simons or Akliouche? And we picked a lane and we chose Xavi Simons. I don't think we're going to get Akliouche. I think that ship has sailed.
Well, this all goes back to the Lookman conversation then. He can play wide and he can score. There you go. Done.
Yeah. You know what, though? If Lookman comes in, I've backed that horse for so long that if Lookman comes in and stinks the place out, I will have to shut down the Spurs Five or my part of the Spurs Five. Spurs Talk Show's done. It's cooked, bro. Because I backed him so much. If he comes and he fucking fails miserably, I am finito.
Flip-flop videos every week.
You could rename it the Spurs Flip Flop, and then you've saved yourself.
The Spurs Flip Flop. That's a great channel.
It is. I've got a giant
the Havaiana Lounge.
There you go.
Nice. Spicy.
Nice, very good, very good. There's a super chat coming from Savra, and we'll do that, and then we will round off. He says, "I love to disagree with Stel, but he's spot on." Thank you again, Savra. Very generous, mate. No more children. No. We need pros. Gallagher, Akliouche, Lookman, Kone, etc. When we buy kids, that is then used as an excuse every game.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. Akliouche is a great player. I personally, I'm with Ferg. I just think it's a bit of a square peg for a hole that isn't as big as the other side. But Lookman, sure. Kone, 100%. Get him. Gallagher, yeah, why not? He brings in something that we don't have. Appreciate you all. Oh, sorry, Ferg.
Yeah, I was saying he brings leadership as well. There's a reason Poch made him the captain at Chelsea for a spell.
That's why he left, wasn't it, Poch? Because they were selling Gallagher from under him.
Yeah. One of the reasons, yeah.
Is Gallagher really going to leave Athletic to come Spurs? Though?
The issue is going to be matching his wages because the Spanish tax system is really cushy for players, and we're going to have to pay him a lot to match his take-home pay.
Did I read Maresca was told to sell Cole Palmer? That was part of his...
Yeah, they said he might. They might. Yeah, I heard that rumor as well.
That's mental if they sell him.
They're going to sell Cole Palmer to fund.
Freaking mental.
You know? Well, this is Chelsea FC. They're, as Johnny says, they're a trading company. Right? They just treat their players like they're cattle, essentially. Yeah. Big up to you, Saba. Big up to everyone. Very generous with all the super chats tonight. Unbelievable show debut from you, Ferg. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. I'll just get your plug one more time. Guys, please do get over to, if you are on Twitter, find Ferg, Senior Fergie. His name is there. Thank you very much, mate. As also just quickly, here's Lubo's Twitter. Here is my Spurs talk show. If you haven't got, go over there, please. On the way to 40k. What you trying to get up to, Stel, on the subs on Spurs Corner?
I don't even know. We do one show a week. That's it. So
I'm sure it's growing nicely, mate. I'm sure it's growing. I mean, it will continue.
Well, I just think. Just people just want to talk Spurs once in a while that much. It's not really about growing the channel. We did that with Tottenham away. We're out of steam now. Now it's just talking for the sake of it.
Appreciate you all. Appreciate you all for coming on. Thanks again, guys. Thanks everyone in the chat. Love to see you all. We'll be back here on Thursday for the post Bournemouth digest, and I'm sure you'll see everybody around the traps tomorrow, here, there, and everywhere. Big up to you all, and thanks again. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always.
Bye, Jeff.